Good morning, Facebook. It's a beautiful Monday morning. Come join me, Facebook Live, with the Fist Pump Guy, Bondi's Toyota, Enterprise, Alabama. Starting a new week. Had a pretty busy Saturday. Took yesterday off trying to get the house ready to do some serious moving here soon. So y'all come on in and join me for this edition of Facebook Live with the Fist Pump Guy. This is something that I've learned over the past couple days that I think would be beneficial for you to understand what people see from the consumer side of it. Obviously, we know I'm in car sales, and many of the people that I talk to on a regular basis are in car sales. But life is sales in general. So just about every profession that you get into involves some type of selling. What's up, Kevin? Y'all come on in and join me real quick. So today, if you saw my description, and I don't know if anybody remembers the game shows that this was on, but if you can help me out, because I'm thinking Price is Right. But what's behind door number one? And then the follow-up question, do you even know? But, you know, on the famous game show, I think it was Price is Right, there was like 2 or 3 doors. You got to choose which door. You could trade it if you wanted to. But you did that not knowing really what's behind those doors. And each door, there was a different prize. Some prizes were better than others. You know what I'm talking about. You know where I'm going with that. And the particular reason I'm asking that question this morning is because last week I decided, and me and my wife decided we need to go get a storage unit. And because, you know, we're getting ready in the process of doing some serious life-changing things, so we decided we needed to get a storage unit. So I contacted a company, a realtor company that was managing the ones right behind my house, because for convenience sake, I thought that'd be the right thing to do. Okay, so I went ahead and paid a few months in advance because I'm not exactly sure how long we're going to keep it. Go get the money. The young lady said, nice young lady, said, you can have this one or this one. The 2 numbers she gave me. But you need to get your own lock, this, that, and the other, which we know. So I go over here and I drive down to try to pick out which one I want because of 2 sizes. Now, granted, these aren't the best looking sets of storage units I've ever seen. So I was kind of iffy. What's up, Cowboy Bill? If there's anybody in here commenting or anything, it's not showing me very much. So what's up, Cowboy? Hope you're doing well. So I go over here to pick which unit I wanted. Now, granted, there was only 2 in the size that I wanted available. I want you to understand that. So I go in here and I drive in beside the 2 that are in. Well, the number 1, the 6, was the very first one on the end. And then the next one, number 9, was 3 doors down, of course. So before I even get out of my truck good, on the first one, the door was part of the way open, and I could see there was still stuff inside that one. Okay? You too, Cowboy. So I gently pull the door open, and guess what? It's full of stuff in this particular storage unit. Well, it's not usable stuff for me, so I'm not even worried about it. But the point is if that was the only one available, I was going to be in trouble because I'm not cleaning it out to use it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Not to that extent. I'm going to sweep it out. So I drove on up. I checked out number 9. Number 9 didn't have anything in it, so I went and got a broom, swept it out. Yesterday I went and dropped some bug stuff in it just to make sure that it's going to be clean enough to put my stuff in. And you might be asking where I'm going with this. Okay, now keep in mind, most of these storage agencies and storage units, a lot of them in our area are managed by realtor companies, some type of company like that manages these businesses, right? Well, my thought process was, I was like, you don't even know what's behind door number 1, so I had to choose door number 2. You see what I'm saying? So the question I would immediately have as a consumer, if I was going to put my house up for rent, okay? Because if you're managing these, and now this wasn't the only unit that had stuff in it. There was about 2 or 3 with the doors part way open, with just junk in it. They had been gone through. I don't know if they had been abandoned, and there was just trash in them. So my immediate thought is if this was my storage unit as I owned them, and I had somebody else managing them, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to take my business away from them and give it to somebody else, okay? Because it's the responsibility of the managing agency to understand and know what's going on with that unit. So me personally, if I was going to rent my house out, I probably wouldn't use that realty company, that realtor, okay? Now, granted, I understand there's a lot, it's busy business in realty. There's a lot of properties and stuff they have to manage, that kind of stuff. But the only reason I'm using this storage unit for sure now is because it's right behind my house. I don't have to take my stuff 3 or 4 miles away to store it. This is right behind my house, so I can do it. I can move stuff after I get off work. I could pick stuff up after work, whatever I need to do, because it's right there. So the whole moral of this story is, the only reason I'm using this particular unit is because it's convenient, okay? But if you were one of the ones I had to choose from that was right there at my house, that probably wouldn't be the one I chose. Because just because you're the closest doesn't mean you're the one that people want to do business with, because maybe you don't know your product. Maybe you're not showing responsibility for your product. Do you understand what I'm saying? You can apply this to any part of sales. You can apply it to any part of sales. You have to know what's going on with your product, okay? Now, granted, the second one wasn't bad. I swept it out, no problem. But it got me to thinking, because when you drive around this particular unit, it's not a very big unit. There's probably only 20 or 30 doors on this, different sizes. But there's a couple of them that are open with stuff in them. What's up, Anthony Santangelo? With trash in them. You have to know what's going on with your product. If you're a realty company and you're renting, you're responsible for renting out people's properties. You're responsible for getting those yards maintained, making sure that the property is manicured and well taken care of, because they trusted you with that business. They're paying you to do so. Now, I don't know about this storage unit for sure. I don't know who owns it. I don't know any of that. But it's an eyesore when you drive up and you see that. And when I let them know what was going on with that particular unit, they didn't know. Which tells me, because it's been there a while. All these units that have stuff in it's been there. That stuff's been there for a while. Tells me they haven't checked on it. Their number's on the board outside. So when you search that phone number, you know what realty company it goes to. But you see where I'm going with this? If you're in sales of any sort, if you're in car sales, whatever, you're responsible. You're responsible. I'm responsible for knowing as much about my product and what's going on with my product as I can possibly know. Okay? When you don't know, you lose credibility, and a lot of times you lose business. Do you see where I'm going with this? It's a trickle-down effect. And unfortunately, this particular unit hasn't been cared for over the years. And like I said, if there was another one beside it that was nicer, I would probably be using that one. What's up, Rudy? The main reason I'm using this one, and probably the only reason I'm using this one now, is because of location. It's the most convenient storage to my house right now. So, put it this way. I wouldn't drive 10 miles or 5 miles to put my stuff in this unit, even if it was the cheapest. Even if it was the cheapest. Think about your product like that. Just because you have the best price or the lowest price on something doesn't necessarily mean that people want to do business with you. Okay? They want to do business with people they like, know, and trust. Okay? It's not always about price. Okay? Most customers, most people would rather have the better service. Okay? And that'll lead me into tomorrow's video. So I'm going to let you guys go today. Okay? Service means something. Okay? But you also got to know your product. You got to know what's going on. So, hope this helps somebody today. Understand where I'm going with these things when I use analogies. Because sometimes you can see, I can visually see what's behind door number 1. You don't know what it is. And you open it up and it's full of junk. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, know your product. Understand that the consumer sees these things even when you don't seem to care. And that could possibly cost you business in the future. Hope this helps somebody today. Everybody have a great week. The Fist Pump Guy, selling cars the right way because it's the only way I know. Follow the Fist Pump Enterprise.